used to read the Bhagavatam many years ago, and there was a sentence that Bhakti ka putra gyan. So I could never understand what this really means. So listening to your talks, I mean, little bit, I'm beginning to feel maybe it means that or not. Can you please clarify what it really means?
Okay. It's a very interesting reference and a quote you do give. And if I understand you correctly, you are saying Bhakti ka putra jnana hai. Am I right?
Yeah.
Which literally means Jnana is a product of Bhakti. So you want a clarity on that, ma?
Yeah, well, Guruji, first I couldn't understand it at all. But I think listening to whatever you've been teaching us, that, who is a adhikari for Gyan. So we people probably are not really adhikari, but over the time, as we understand a little, and when we have bhakti, bhakti means we get more emotional, we have more emotion. And if you have more emotion, you can feel the pain of the other person or the need of the other person. You probably are more concerned. And bhakti also means you love God. So if you love God, in other words, it means you love God's people. So if you love God's people and you feel their pain, then maybe you go out of your way and try to help them whichever way you can, and whatever your capacity is to help. And that will lead to karma. I mean, anything you have to help, you have to do karma. And the karma, if you're wanting to help them, it is with unselfish karma. So if you're doing unselfish karma, then maybe you will become a little bit more adhikari to go to get gyan. I don't know whether I'm right or not, but this is what I have sort of figured out.
Okay. I've heard you very intently. Now, the whole, I'll mute you, and then if you have to say something again, you can feel free, ma, okay? See, you have used the word an adhikari more than once. So keeping the context of an adhikari in mind, keeping the context of a relationship between a shishya and a guru, because when you talk of an adhikari, the accent is what should the student do to deserve the knowledge from the guru. As simple as that. I'm being very specific to the context. And it should concern you because you're all seekers of this knowledge. And you have a guru in your life, whoever that be. And also it's important for you to find out, are you really an adhikari for this knowledge? Bhakti ka putra jnana hai. I'm analyzing that statement. It is very apt. So the relationship between a guru and a shishya the foundation of that relationship is based on bhakti, which is total devotion supported with complete surrender. And when you have these two elements of being devoted to a teacher, I'm not generalizing, I'm being very specific. Whoever your guru is, you must be devoted to that guru, and you must surrender to the guru. Thereafter, you don't question anything what the guru does. Because you have complete faith that whatever the guru does is for my own spiritual well-being. Thereafter, it tantamounts to following whatever the guru does blindly. Tantamounts to, not literally. Now I put it in a simpler terms. I don't know how many of you have a guru in your life, and how many of you have had a serious relationship with the guru in your life. I've had for over 30 years, so I know what I'm talking. And if you have that, that relationship far surpasses any other relationship. I am a husband, I am a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother. I know what the other relationships demand and what they are. So I'm not coming out of an ashram, an institution which doesn't give you a license to that kind of a life of a grihastha. So I'm living a life of a grihastha. I don't know what it is. So above all relationships you can have in your life, the relationship between a shishya and a guru is unparalleled. Nothing comes even close to that, all put together. But the relationship you have with your spouse or with your parents or with your sibling or whoever also is founded on a basic faith in the partner, isn't it? If I have to have a relationship with my wife, with my spouse, I have to have faith in her that whatever she's doing in the interest of the family and me. And the moment there is no faith in that person, moment that faith is being questioned inwardly, that's the beginning of the end of the relationship. It's a matter of time it will buckle, because you're questioning the very faith itself. That's why I said the foundation of bhakti is to be devoted, which is nothing but a complete identification and total surrender. When you have that feeling of devotion, now analyzing the question in the context of being an adhikari, when you have that element of devotion and surrender, which is bhakti, it expresses as selfless service to the guru. I'm being specific to the guru. What makes you an adhikari to receive the knowledge from the guru? Your home should be the center of love, not the boundary. You first start loving your own family and then spread that love beyond the boundary of your family. If you don't have if you don't serve your guru, if you have forgotten the guru, if you have neglected the guru, if you're not even concerned, what does the guru need? Does he need anything? Does he need my time? Or he doesn't need my time? Sometimes the best service you can do is don't disturb him. Just leave him alone. He wants that space to do his sadhana. He doesn't want you to be disturbed. So it is the onus of the student to go out of his way, crushing his ego, only to serve the guru. And once you have done that, you automatically qualify to receive the Gnanam. So what? It starts with bhakti. It expresses as service. It makes you worthy of receiving the Gnanam. And once you have these first two elements established, then you find yourself worthy of receiving the knowledge. And not only just receiving the knowledge will appeal to you. The knowledge will relate to your life. The knowledge will transform you. You know what I'm saying, ma? Otherwise, it is just a matter of mere information that's coming your way. You don't hold the knowledge and the wisdom you receive in the right level. You almost belittle it. And the moment you belittle it, the guru takes a step back. He's not interested in you. If you have that right quality, the guru will go out of the way to ensure you to give more than what he has. He give your life to you, but you must make yourself worthy. And what interferes is lack of bhakti. You have no faith in the guru. You have not surrendered to the guru. And if you don't serve the guru and the cause the guru represents, you are disqualified. Not that the guru has any preferences. The guru has no preferences. You automatically don't fit into that deserving category. Automatically you are. So it is your attitude that makes you whether you deserve it or not, whether you're an adhikari or not. So you should not put a limit or a cap to what you can serve. Can you give your life to the guru? The guru says jump from the building, you should be able to jump from the building. No questions asked. No questions asked. I spoke about Ekalavya last week. Having been rejected by the guru, Ekalavya didn't criticize the guru. What he did in turn, he went into the woods, made a statue, learned, and as a true seeker, he went and wanted to pay adakshinam. And when the guru says, cut your thumb and give, he gave it away. And in turn, what did he get? He got moksha. So you will not understand the ways and means of why a guru does what he does. The moment you don't have that faith, it spoils it all. It's like a drop of lime in milk. I've often taken that example. That drop of doubt or lack of faith, it spoils it. So I'm just expanding it. You said Jnana is the product of bhakti. So bhakti followed by karma, then comes Jnana. You are going up to a guru to get his advice. You're coming to seek knowledge from the guru. You're not gathering that wisdom from a generic source. When you're being specific, It's like if I want to have that faith from my partner, I must show that first, isn't it? If I don't show that faith or love to my partner, how can I expect it? Can I expect it? If I'm betraying my partner in every possible way, can I expect that faith and love from that part, from my spouse? It becomes glaring when I mention it from a mundane perspective. It becomes far more important from a spiritual perspective. So even before you receive knowledge, you need to do a lot to even be in a classroom to receive. As I always told, the backdrop of a setting, a man would have leave his family behind. He would go into the woods because he has lost that charm for life. He's not interested in his bank balances. He's not interested in his how much interest he's getting from his savings. He's not interested in his family assets. He's not interested in anything of what the world has to offer. He's renounced and said, I want gain Brahma Vidya. So he goes into the woods. He's rejected, renounced all world. It has no meaning to it. And he goes in search of a master in the woods. And it's not that masters are like supermarkets, we'll find any around the corner. He didn't find, so he kept searching. And the first person he saw in the woods, immediately he prostrated to him and accepted him as Guru. Don't even know, an outright stranger. Somebody sitting out there in the woods, you fall at his feet and say, Master, give me Atma Vidya. I'm just giving you the highlight of it, the backdrop of it rather. It highlights what I've said. And what does the master say? Come back after 6 months or 1 year. Not that he's busy, he's doing nothing, nobody's there. But he says, come back to 1 year. And what the student does, this fellow thinks too much of himself. I'll find another guru. Nothing doing. He stays put with him. He serves the guru, whatever he needs. He brings the water from the rivers. He'll prepare food for him. He'll cut the wood. He will serve him. He'll clean his place up. He's just there to serve. And after a year has passed, he reminds the Guru, Master, it's been a year. Can you please give me the truth? The student, the master has constantly been checking whether the student has this quality of bhakti and karma. And once he proves himself, the master gives it. It's like a dam, the gates of the dams have opened. You can't take anymore. That much the Guru gives you. You can't receive it. That much of affection and love. But while the test is going on, there is no compromise. You fall, you're disqualified. I'm also seriously considering to put some tests like that. As I said, you must be in this journey to know what it is. With little experience I have, I can tell you what it is. It can't be a weekend affair. I can be very certain with that. Your spirituality can't be a weekend affair. It can't be, I have nothing else to do, therefore I'll go to an ashram, I'll go to that place, I'll go to this temple, I'll go to that pilgrimage. That is not spirituality. You can only pacify your limited ego. It will not do good any good to you. But if you want to achieve anything, you got to be ready to give your life to it. Just like, have you not given your life to your partner? Have you not given your life to your kids? Are you not ready to give yourself for your welfare of the family? Have you ever told yourself, I have done enough for you? Would you ever tell your child, I've done enough for you? Anyone have ever told that to your child? Ask yourself. The moment you put a lid to your service, that ends it. So bhakti, karma results in Jnana is not information. It is your spiritual transformation. So actually, in effect, it is 70% of bhakti and karma. It's 30% knowledge. 70% is bhakti and karma. And you got to come with that to a guru. A guru is not going to be interested in how much of karma and bhakti you do. You got to come with that to the guru, then you get the knowledge. You know, I've never met that person. I used to hear of a South African boy who was the first batch in the ashram. The ashram started in 88. And I joined the ashram in 1991. So I used to hear of a South African boy. When I say boy, he was, I think he joined the ashram in his mid 40s or late 40s then. And, or maybe early 50s, I think so. He was involved with Ramakrishna mission in South Africa. I think it is, I don't know whether it's Johannesburg or Durban in South Africa. And he used to drive a truck for the ashram. He used to drive the truck from one facility of the ashram to another facility. It was an everyday exercise, or 3-4 days, if I'm not wrong. Every 3-4 days exercise. It would almost take him more than half a day to reach that end, to the other part of the city, or the other city perhaps. Do what is delivered, they needed to deliver the goods, and then come back, which would mean late in the evening. And all his job in the ashram was to do this. And you can guess for how long he did that? For 30 years. For 30 years, he just did that. And he joined the Ramakrishna mission, Ramakrishna Mat ashram there, to gain this knowledge. And all he was told to do was this. Until he met Swamiji and it said, I want this knowledge and I'm not getting this knowledge. And he was immediately accepted into the ashram, the course those days. I'm only tell you the gravity of service a student does to be ready for the knowledge. The more seva you do, the more selfless service you do, the more knowledge will appeal to you. And there is no shortcuts. Another colleague of mine who studied with me, he also was involved with Ramakrishna Mat in Chennai and in Belur Mat also. He used to say when he joined, they used to tell him to clean public laboratories. And you can imagine what will be the condition of public toilets in India. And he had to go on to his knees into those public toilets and clean them day in and day out. For years he did. I think they have a system that before you are even taken into the fold of a formal teaching from the guru, you have to compulsorily go through this element of karma. It's almost a compulsion. I'm talking of my experience of having met those who went through that exercise. If I were to tell you to come and clean the center toilet, you next moment you will stop coming to the wisdom classes. We don't have any administrators. We don't have any people to do everything. We do it ourselves. If I were to tell you, please come, there's a karma day. Come and clean the place. You don't do in your own house. Why will you do in our house, in the center here? So I am not criticizing, please don't get me wrong. And either am I sitting in judgment over what you should and what you shouldn't, what you're capable and not capable, what you can, what you can't. It's not my job. It's for you to find out and do what you can do, how you want to do it. So, and I'm not being sentimental at all. I'm only having gone through the rigorous path. I'm talking through experience. It's not something informative. I'm just vomiting it out to you. Not that way. I hope you can even sense the the genuine relevance these elements make you an adhikari. These are the pertinent aspects which are not highlighted. Any clarifications, Sushmama?
Guruji, after hearing you, I feel I don't think, at least myself, I can talk about, not others. I don't think I have that much forbearance in me, to be very, very honest with you. You describe, but still the desire to transform myself to some extent is very much there. And I'm trying to do whatever little I can, but I have to be very honest with you that the type of qualities you said an adhikari needs to get knowledge, I don't think at the moment I have that much forbearance.
No, it's not in that sense. It is only, I only gave you a pictorial idea as to what these elements are, and each one has and does express in his own way. So it's not to demoralize you, but rather to inspire you all, to inspire myself. As I've said, even it's not that you only see me on screen few hours a week. Do you even have a clue what do I do rest of the time? It is rest of the time. If it is 1.5 hours in a day, I am talking to you all. The rest of the awake hours is only service to the cause. Whether be it to even review the takeaways which come your way. It is seva. Right from that to every act has to be done. So, and if I don't do that, this knowledge which I believe I know will not help me transform. No point merely knowing. If it doesn't help you transform, what is the point knowing it? So one has to do the seva. So service is an integral part. In fact, it is not mentioned. That's an interesting thing. Even in the ashram when I had joined, nobody formally calls and tells you need to do this. Automatically, each one finds his swadharma. Each one finds his own innate aptitude and goes up and takes a department or assists someone in a department and starts working. And no doubt there's someone supervising everything, but it has to naturally flow from within you. I'm not saying to boost anybody's ego here. I had a brief conversation. Ashama had actually called me the other day. If I may, Ashama, with your permission. She was telling Guruji, I am now based. She was living in Hyderabad. Now she's moved to Bangalore. And what she was telling, the gist of it is, I'm seriously considering to relocate myself to Hyderabad, to find a small place where I can choose close to the center. And the word she said, I want to be 24-hour service to the foundation and you. Is this not what you said, Ashama? I hope I'm not misquoting you. Huh?
You will permit.
No. What is permitting? Yeah. Who am I to permit? It was that it just hit, and that statement hit me like an avalanche. It just hit me. It's that force with which she said. It is that the potency with which she meant, the purity with which she said, is what we're talking. And not that, can you imagine she's considering to relocate from a city to come here to come and serve? I don't know. I would have done that to my guru. I don't know. She's doing that. She's considering. This is what I'm saying. All of this is not, I didn't tell her to do it. The irony of it, I didn't tell her, nobody told her to do it. No guru will ever tell the student to serve, because it is the most misunderstood thing. If I tell you all, please start doing these things to me, I will be the most misunderstood person on earth. As a principle, I would not knock at your door and ask a personal favor. Never. If I can't do it, I will rather be without it than asking a personal favor. But I don't feel shy asking you for a cause. What is that? Even for your evolution, I'll not tell you do this to the cause. It will not work. So until it is born from within, and only when it's born within, that is when you become an adhikari. But if it is externally told to you, it has a shelf life. It ends no sooner it is born. So this is a classic example of what I said, of what Ashama told. It has to come from within. So to what extent can you go to serve? What extent? Don't put a limit. The moment you put a limit, you stagnate. I wouldn't put a limit. Like, would I put a limit how much I love my child? Then you tell me, yes, I will put a limit how much I serve my guru also. All right, I think the concept has come out very clearly. Any further thing, please feel free, ma. Okay. Thank you.